Pete, let me ask you the one question I'm sure you get every single time. You don't even have to listen. You can answer it. But I have to ask, how did you become a fan of the Marlins?
I know. What was I thinking? Firstly, hello guys, and good to meet you guys. Yeah, the Marlins. How and why? It's quite a typical. It's quite a typical story, I'd say, for UK guys and UK fans. Family trip over to Florida into Miami. Said, hey, there's baseball happening. Let's go to a match. I think were my exact words. Let's go to a baseball match. I didn't know anything about baseball, but we went down on a rainy Tuesday against the Diamondbacks, a real glamour matchup, I guess, and sat there, enjoyed a few beers, had a few hot dogs, and thought, baseball feels like it's for me. I didn't know really what was happening. I guess conceptually, like, baseball's quite an easy game to follow, but like, there's a lot of details that happen that really I had no clue what was going on. But I enjoyed the vibe. I'm a big cricket fan as well. I grew up as a cricket player and a fan, and so it's quite a similar watch, like a passive watch. And I was like, yeah, this is fun. Stanton hit a huge home run. I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to go and buy a Stanton jersey right now from the team store in Marlins Park at that point. Put it on. I went, listen, I'm a baseball fan right here and now. And then the rebuild happened. And, there you go. So that was it. I just went, just by chance, went to a game, enjoyed it, and started following the team. Then I had a son who was born the next summer. And that was the beautiful thing of baseball, right? Where every day there's a game. And that completely blew my mind as well. Normally, like as a soccer fan, let's say, you got to wait, 3-4 days in between games. So having baseball on every day through the night with my son who was awake every night at 3 a.m., it was perfect. So I really got into the Marlins heavily at that point too. So yeah, long-winded way of saying fell into a game, really enjoyed it, decided there and then the Marlins are for me, and let's go.
Yeah, but being a Marlins fan in the days of Giancarlo Stanton are a little different than being a Marlins fan now. So what is there to be excited for this year with Miami?
Oh, baby, you're completely right. It was a different prospect back then with that offense. And I've been through the tough times, but in terms of excitement levels, how could you not be excited about Jazz Chisholm Jr. right now? Like, there's a lot to be excited about with Jazz and Sandy Alcantara as well. Like, these guys, like the Marlins do have some real nice pieces here. It's just trying to surround maybe those marquee names with talent that gives them a chance to win. I know you've got the odds here for the division. The division's brutal. It's absolutely brutal here in the East. So, it's tricky. The Marlins haven't got the same budget as some of these teams. They've got to do it a different way. And I think that's the interesting or exciting thing is, how can the Marlins piece things together to compete with these big budget teams to give themselves a chance? And I don't think we're really looking at the division realistically. But how can they give themselves a chance in the wild card hunt that's now expanded slightly? That's what the Marlins are thinking. Have they got enough offense to back up this rotation? And that's mentally the question in 2023.
Got about 3 minutes left as we talk to Pete Pratt, host of the Locked On Marlins podcast. Follow him on Twitter at MiamiMarlins_UK. You mentioned Jazz Chisholm, a big part of that lineup. The Marlins also got Luis Reyes from the Twins during the offseason. How much do you think that will help that lineup? Because the one thing they need, as you know, is run production.
We need a lot of run production. Last year was historically bad, I would say. It was tough. It was brutal. First thing we need, if you listen to everything coming out of the Marlins organization, is you need health. This lineup needs to stay healthy. And if it does, the change of approach from they try to go power heavy to a contact-orientated offense, that's the difference now. Is it going to be death by a million paper cuts? Is it just hit after hit after hit with the new rules, the shift changes? I think they've gone in a different direction, and they're going to look to exploit some of these new rule changes and just like create runs, accumulate hits, and just create some runs and create some offense. But fundamentally, they need to stay healthy. If they don't stay healthy, then it's going to be a similar outcome to 22, 21, and before that too. So, yeah, health is paramount. I'm excited to see what the offense looks like, but I'm equally nervous too.
All right, Pete, so you referenced this, but the biggest bright spot for the Marlins, probably Sandy Alcantara, coming off a Cy Young winning campaign. Do you see him having another great year? Because I guess great's not even the word. He was lights out. Do you see him continuing on this trajectory?
I think as with Sandy, he will never settle for a plateau. I'll put it that way. There's no plateaus in Sandy Alcantara's game. So whatever we've seen in 22, which was exceptional, he'll be looking to take it to the next level. And being the reigning NL Cy Young award winner, what is that next level? I guess it's to repeat. And all of a sudden, Sandy Alcantara then starts to get into, potentially getting into the Hall of Fame conversation if he kind of doubles down in, back-to-back Cy Youngs. Like, that's where Sandy Alcantara's mind will be. But the thing is with him, he's just thinking about just trusting his process. Stay healthy. The process, go out there. The mentality he has is unbelievable. And the desire, the competitiveness. Sandy wants to win. And he wants to, that's the main thing that's coming through. Sandy wants to win. And he wants to stay healthy. They're the two things, I think, for Sandy. But can he do it again? For me, the main nervous point with Sandy is the defense has gone backwards, I think. I think that's the one thing for the Marlins. They've got some extra offense in, but they've taken away a bit of defense. Miguel Rojas at shortstop was sensational there. And so it's interesting to see the shift rules and the defensive changes. How's that going to impact what is fundamentally a ground ball specialist in Sandy Alcantara? For me, I wouldn't expect Sandy to deliver a similar year. I would maybe expect a step backwards, but knowing Sandy as I do, it wouldn't shock me if he takes it to another level, which, was very exciting.
He is host of Locked On Marlins podcast and on Twitter at Miami Marlins_UK. It is Pete Pratt. Pete, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Same to you guys.